Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Phalai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Queen's Wish 2, The Tormenta! Last episode we went and did a little exploring, seeing what else happened to be over in this area of the Gentle Coast, on this side of the river. We did find 2 claims, but we're not going to go look at them yet. We're going to look at Laskara first, because I have a feeling we're going to get quests dealing with these. Possibly also the Erotica Ruins, but we'll deal with that later. For now, let's see. Bridge is to the north. So let's head around there. And head to Laskara. We'll make a beeline there. You're at the base of a pair of huge stone pillars flanking an ancient stone road. A nearby sign identifies this north-south road as the Pilgrimage Road, the main roadway cutting all the way through the Rokaj. You absorbed enough of your schooling to know a little bit about the geography of the Ro. If you go north from here, you can reach the 3 other provinces of the Rokaj: the Kranas Woods, the Lodaga, and the High Lipa. Alright, but we are going south. Laskara West, Pilgrimage Road south. The road is patrolled by a band of Rokaj warriors. They are all people of the Gentle Coast. They're not the wild savages they imagined back in Haven. They have shiny imported armor and show every sign of being trained by Haven. They are very alert. The recent raids have enraged them and they're ready to kill. When you approach and they see who you are, they step off of the road as you pass. Okay, is it west? Yes, I believe so. From here you get a good view of the Rokaj city of Laskara. Considering the road's reputation as a wild, lawless place, Laskara looks sort of dull. Looks like any of 100 port cities in the Empire. Ships sail in and out, carrying food, building materials, and precious goods. One odd detail does stand out. Laskara used to have tall stone walls. The aging remains of those walls are still there, overgrown with brush. Nobody's making any effort to repair them. That's definitely unusual. I mean, an entire town with no walls? Oh! You enter the port city of Laskara, the Rokaj's portal to the outside world. You've toured a lot of affluent cities like this with Sutter over the last year, but this one immediately stands out as strange. The Rokaj is thought of as a land of brutal, barbaric warriors. Laskara is a city of people who dress up as brutal warriors. The people here are wealthy, and their leather jerkins and jagged blades are all carefully made and very stylish in their way. The city has, or had, defensive walls. They have been left to crumble into ruin. Laskara is wealthy enough to repair them, but for some reason they don't. They're a depressing eyesore in what could be a lovely city. As you pass, the guards and townsfolk look at you with awe and respect. After a bunch of Ro tried to murder you in your quarters, it is a jarring change. Alright. You approach the Hall of the Rasa of the Gentle Coast. Here you will meet a leader of the Rokaj. You've never taken part in diplomacy like this on your own. You sense for a moment all of the lies that depend on the decisions you make. Or don't make. And then the royal symbol of the Prince of Haven appears on your shoulder, placed there by your mother's magic. It will appear there no matter what you wear. If you strip naked, it will be a tattoo on your skin. When on official business, your mother insists that the mark of your identity be visible wherever you go. It can be incredibly irritating. Malwyn. You meet a young man, barely an adult. He looks small and nervous in the expensive ceremonial armor and weaponry of the Gentle Coast. He gives you a brief, twitchy bow when you approach. Hello, Prince Rupert. I am Malwyn. What do you do here? I am an assistant to Rasa Elha. I do what I can to help. Fetch things, watch, listen. My father wants me to try to be Rasa someday, to keep the position in the clan. So I'm here. He doesn't seem particularly ambitious. Tell me about Rasa Elha. Oh, she is from our clan. She is a great leader, and she knows a lot of magic, but she doesn't show it off. She's a real warrior. There aren't many of those in the Gentle Coast. There doesn't need to be, though. Not when we have Haven. You're a wealthy clan. Yes! Wealthy and influential. One of the best in the Gentle Coast. Rasa Elha says it is because of Haven. Their influence changes us, civilizes us, makes us wealthy, she says. And that is why we have so much power. What do you think of Haven? Well, I have met very few Havenites. You don't send many envoys here. Haven't for a long time. But you do bring us trade. Lots of money, lots of precious goods. I see them all come in. Haven brings us a lot of things. He's growing uncomfortable. Talking to a prince does that to a lot of people. That's all for now, thanks. Okay, so that's the Circle of the Rasa. Well, we'll come here later, because I want to look around town first. Oh, no, I didn't want to go out. Okay. So we've got Erotica, the Drunken Dagon, Circle of the Rasa, Haven Hall. Haven Hall. Laskaran. We don't want war. Okay. Oh, Laskara. Oh, right, Laskara. Laskara is the name of this place. You look around the docks of Laskara. By the standards of the rest of Haven, this is a small and outdated facility. For the Rokaj, this is their main portal to the outside world and the source of their wealth. The road does produce goods of some value. Quicksilver, fine wood, precious amber, gemstones. They leave through here in return for the crafts and knowledge of the rest of Haven. How much of that wealth manages to make it into the mountains to the north remains to be seen. I imagine so. The dockmaster of Laskara is working his trade, directing the workers and making notes about the shipments. Sometimes he breaks up a fight among drunken sailors. His expensive, fancy-studded armor and rapier aren't much for fighting, but the sailors aren't hard to handle. When he sees you, however, all other business is set aside. He runs up and bows. I heard that you arrived, Prince. I am Dockmaster Nanash. Honored to meet you. All of the wealth of the row passes through this port, and it's all thanks to Haven. What does the Dockmaster do? Oh, keep order, keep the goods flowing, make sure nothing gets smuggled, collect customs and duties, and send the right message. I give civilized greetings to visitors to show that the Rokaj is a proper nation. That is the gift my province gives to the row. Customs and duties. Everything that travels through this port has a tax on it. Gold that goes to keep the port open and safe. Keeping a place like this running isn't free. The Gentle Coast is wealthy because of its trade, and we earn it. The Gentle Coast's gift to the row. Well, if it wasn't for our port and our trading and our civilization, the Rokaj would be poor, hungry, violent, and desperate. But does the Low Daga thank us? Does the Kranas Woods acknowledge our value? Does the High Litha appreciate it? No. They mock us, call us weaklings while we sustain them. Civilized greetings. Well, first-time visitors to the Rokaj are scared. They think we're all wild madmen swinging swords around. When I am the first row they meet, they know that we are trading with honorable, courteous, civilized folk. And the raids? A temporary difficulty. We will find the raiders and stack their heads on the dock pilings. When our visitors see the skulls, they'll know the Rokaj will be a civilized place once more. Right. Yeah, you do that. Dockmaster Nanash stands and speaks with you, and the docks constantly threaten to devolve into chaos around him. Crates get pushed around, sailors bump into you, goods are carried into and out of the trading hall to the north. So how are things in the Gentle Coast? Not good, as you well know. Raiders have been coming down from the highlands. Some tried to kill you, others took over mines and forts. It's a horrible insult. They could cause a war. We'll make them pay, be sure of it. Do all of the goods of the Rokaj flow through this port? Not quite. Regular trade comes through here. Supplies to Haven's forces enter through Port Osborne. Or they did. The port was taken by raiders. Now Haven's goods come through here, and it makes everything slower. There's a way some warrior could help Haven here. Help Haven how? Go to Port Osborne and retake the captured docks from the brigands. Haven will get plenty more supplies then. More importantly, you can recover the lost contracts. Papers we can use to determine what you've paid for. If you can recover those contracts for me, I can use them to get precious supplies for you. Just a thought. And where are these captured docks? East of here along the water. I think that's where you arrived at the Rokaj. That is correct. Port Osborne was where the raiders attacked Sutter and you. Why don't you just give me the supplies? Because Haven is a land of papers, of contracts, of giving your word. I can't claim wood and stone from the clans unless I can prove you've paid for it. With contracts. The contracts are still at the port. Unfortunately so. When my merchants fled here, none of them had the papers with them. None of them knew where they were. They must still be there. Where are they hidden? I don't know, unfortunately. They should still be in the port. I don't think that the raiders would want them. Well, we cleared out the port, so we should be able to get them. We'll work on that soon. Probably in the next episode. Okay. Head on up. So this building is the trading hall. Ooh, that would be interesting to look at. That's Haven Hall. Interesting. And I don't know what this building is. Well, let's look at the mysterious building first. Just someone's house, I think. Bolt of fine cloth, not mine. Well, I'm not taking that, then. Okay. And we got the central area here. Alright. How about we start with the trading hall? Ingrian. This woman easily stands out in the prosperous city of Laskara. Her leather jerkin is dirty and shows the signs of hard travel. Her hair is chopped unevenly and her hands are calloused. When she looks at you, she is curious, but she shows no awe.
Hello, Havenite. I am Ingrian. I am a trader from the Kronos. I'm waiting for a shipment to be readied. I have a moment if you want to learn.
Yeah. You know what? For the Kronos, I'm going to give them that accent. You say you're from the Kronos.
The Kronos Woods, north and west. The most beautiful of the provinces of the Row. We are wrapped in our forest, and it makes us strong.
Now that she's talking to you, you note that she looks over her shoulder frequently. She tries to hide her nervousness, but she can't disguise it from you. Tell me about your forest.
It is a living thing, in a way that other woods are not. The whole forest is one mind, speaking to us through our groves. We feed and protect our woods, and they shelter us.
Her voice lowers to a whisper. You can barely hear her.
Haven has been hacking at it for years, and we have withstood it. We hope the Kronos can survive your wisdom.
You seem ill at ease.
I know who you are. I know that some fools tried to murder you. They got what they deserved. The Kronos is strong and proud, but we are not fools. We do not want war with Haven.
You're scared of war. She sits up straight.
We are scared of nothing, but war brings fires. Soldiers tramp through our forest, hurting it. When the great uprising happened, much of our woods were burned. It took many years to repair the damage.
Ingrian sits with you and talks. She is a serious woman and lacking in trust, but her job has a lot of downtime. She is curious enough about Haven to talk to you. What brings you to the Gentle Coast?
I am our clan's trader. I organize caravans. I come here, I barter, sell our iron and amber for what we need. I also check in on our clan's claim to the Gentle Coast.
You seem underdressed for this. What do you think of the Gentle Coast? She looks at the other traders, the wealthy locals with their finery and their mostly useless weapons.
They are Rokaj like us. They bring wealth. They keep the outsiders happy. I see no reason to hate them.
Her words seem peaceful, but her eyes are cold. She has no love for them. You seem underdressed for this city.
Yes, my clothes are simple and crude. The Kronos woods are full of simple folk, not like the enlightened, beautiful folk of the coast. We should feel lucky to have them guide us and show us our flaws.
Oh boy, I am sensing some passive aggressiveness there. Have the recent raids caused you any trouble? She looks away and thinks on this. When she speaks again, her voice is soft.
They have. I shouldn't be dealing with Havenites, especially ones of your rank, but I am a trader and we have needs. When the raid started, we lost our mine. We have a claim in the Gentle Coast, and it was taken.
Tell me about your mine.
The woods of the Kronos are angry. They have been cut and burned too much, and they act out. They attack us. Their infection has spread to our lone claim in the Gentle Coast. The Rokaj will not help us, not in a time of raids and possible war. But you might. Haven has the strength to restore our mine for us.
Where can I find this mine?
It is north of Laskara and a little west, dug deep into the mountains to the northwest.
Then why should I be interested in this?
Because if you restore our mine, we will give you a portion of its iron and other products. We know Haven needs to rebuild. We can help you if you help us. If you accept this deal, go to the mine. The Cronus there will tell you more about what is happening.
Alright. That's something we can work on. Crafter Lure. This elderly man is a native Ro, but he is wealthy and fancy. He wears fur garb and a sword at his belt, but they are all stylish, expensive, and completely unaffected by any sort of combat. He smiles and bows deeply.
Welcome, Prince of Haven. I am so honored by your visit. I am Crafter Lure, trader of luxury goods. It is always a delight to be visited by envoys from civilized lands.
What sort of things do you usually trade?
Oh, the Rokaj makes raw materials and a few crafts that are much in demand in the more civilized lands of Haven. They are produced in the Savage Highlands, brought to our port and sent out into the world.
What do the Highlands produce?
Well, there are the mundane things, meat and stone and wood. Some of it is of high enough quality to deserve space on a ship. We also trade precious ancient amber, quicksilver, and crystals, unique varieties of wood, all highly in demand from mages and craftsfolk throughout our empire.
What do you get in return?
The Rokaj is hungry for raw materials and new knowledge from all over the empire. We seek out precious metals, books of magical knowledge, and other things we have difficulty providing for ourselves.
Crafter Lure chats with you. Occasionally he offers you a cup of tea or shows you the fine products of the Rokaj. Polished bits of lightly glowing amber, flasks of pure quicksilver, ready to be made into potions that bring enlightenment. You called the Ro of the Highlands savage.
Ah, I'm afraid it's not my place to discuss politics, especially with a prince.
He nervously wipes a spot off his leather vest. You can see that it has plates of metal set into it.
We are deeply ashamed that Ro raiders attacked you, but we small folk do need to be careful what we say.
You like being a vassal of Haven?
Of course! You bring us a life of safety and prosperity. In the Gentle Coast, we don't spend all our time hacking at each other, settling duels, and scraping for survival.
Nice armor.
Oh, thank you. It is a recent fashion. Wearing armor like this is a way we of the Rokaj keep in touch with our roots.
You note that the metal plates are very thin. Light and convenient, but utterly useless in battle. I don't know, if they're light and thin, it still provides some small amount of protection. A tiny bit. From light attacks. Why do you have to be careful with what you say?
Well, the Gentle Coast is not immune to all of the savagery of the Rokaj. There are some backward souls who want to be free of Haven's influence. They have been known to send Geld Nas killers in the night. These are the sorts of savages who send raiders down into the Gentle Coast. Recently I lost 2 caravans to murderers and thieves.
You lost some caravans.
2 of them. One going north, one going east. They vanished. No signs of where they were lost or who took them. I offered a bounty to anyone who could find them and the brave folk who escorted them. No takers yet. It's too dangerous a time.
Where were they lost?
Oh, one went east. Scavengers had recovered some nice items from the Erotica Ruins there. The caravan was going to pick those up. One went north. He was going to the Cronus Woods to pick up some artisanal-grade lumber. It never entered the woods.
How might one know that a caravan was yours?
Each of our wagons has a quarter moon painted on its side. It is a symbol of my clan. I only say this to make conversation. I would never ask a Prince of Haven to notice my small affairs.
He genuinely seems to mean this. Alright, I'd like to trade with you.
Of course! Alas, I tend to deal with raw materials in bulk. Still, we have a few finished objects that might be of value in your journey.
Cronus bow. Interesting. Daga buckler, Ro bronze armor, Ro bronze helm, Erotica tunic, war axe, Ro bronze sallet, and amethyst orb. I don't need anything. Alright, thank you very much. Don't know if anything else here will be of note or in here. Nope, that's just a worker. Locked. That one's not. And while there is a bed, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be using it. Okay, let's leave this room. Or leave this building. Next building, we've got... Okay, this is an unnamed building. Just a Laskara in there. Just a Laskara in here. I can take this fine fur, but not the copper bits. I guess the fine fur is a gift to the Prince of Haven. Okay, Erotica. Let's speak with them. See what's inside. The sign outside said that this building was for the Erotica. Looking around at the arcane machinery and materials in this room, you now know what that means. Mages. They're everywhere, practicing their strange arts and engaging in mad experiments. As expected, the Erotica are like mages everywhere, except they approach their art in the way of the Rokaj, with limitless enthusiasm, no self-reflection, and non-existent safety procedures. Okay. Laskara and Erotica, Laskara and Erotica. Crafter Homes. Most of the researchers, sages, and wizards here avoid you. You suspect that the Erotica are not a social bunch, and dealing with royalty is not in their skill set. The oldest among them happily shows a sense of hospitality. He approaches you wearing his least stained robe.
Ah, a Havenite. Haven has not honored the Erotica with a visit in a long time. I am Crafter Homais of the Gentle Coast. I will be polite to you.
Tell me about the Erotica.
We are the learners of the Rokaj. We study magic. We watch the stars. We expand science. We bring power to the warriors. Alas, we are in decline. We can show you how we are, but not how we were.
You can teach me new powers.
The Erotica do expand the arts of war, but that work mainly takes place in our main tower on the Pilgrimage Road. We do have a book on the arts of war in Laskara. You can read it in the Rasa's Hall.
What is science?
It is the study of the ways of the world when not touched by magic. How they move, stay still, live, die. It is an obscure field of study, but we trade letters with other vassals.
Science? How odd. There was nothing of this in your studies back in Sharon's palace. Typical Rokaj eccentricity. How are you in decline?
Oh, the Erotica has been the refuge of for the more thoughtful young row since recorded history. However, we decline when outside oppressors conquer us. In those times, we feed on the ideas of others instead of making them ourselves.
Some of the row want to drive us out.
So I have heard. I do not approve. The Erotica is my life, but war is bad, and I would prefer it as avoided.
Crafter Homais makes small talk with you about his work. It's some sort of alchemical experiment stretching on for many years. You don't understand a word of it. Occasionally, you get him to talk to you about something else. Where's the main outpost of the Erotica?
Oh, the Tower of the Erotica is north of here, resting on the Pilgrimage Road. They would be highly honored if you visited. They are masters of all sorts of crafts, even some unknown outside of our land. I'm sure that they would love to show off.
What sort of crafting do they do?
The Rokaj produces many materials with innate magical properties. Amber, crystal, quicksilver, and deep metal. This, combined with secrets we have learned, can be used to expand knowledge and create powerful tools of war.
You say that you gain knowledge here.
In a small way. We mostly absorb knowledge brought in through the docks, evaluate it, and pass it on. This is a small and humble outpost. We also send out scavengers to look for knowledge that has been lost. With all our raids and wars, lots of things get lost in the chaos.
Any particular lost knowledge you're looking for?
What a fortunate coincidence that you asked. I have been sending scavengers to some old Erotica ruins to the east. We have been trying to recover old writings from there for some time. Look for intact books in the ruined library. We offer a bounty for them. Precious lore of our own that might be of great value.
Where are the Erotica ruins?
In the easternmost reach of the Gentle Coast. Go north, then east across 2 rivers, then look for the Dead Land.
Why were these ruins abandoned?
Not enough Erotica to study there. They were left behind a century and a half ago. Our learned students were leaving to study in Haven instead of work there.
What sort of dangers might I find there?
Alas, Erotica towers are often abandoned in haste. A few pests might have been left behind. Others might have snuck in, attracted by the raw magic left behind. Just pests, though. Nothing that can threaten you.
I doubt that. You say that you gain knowledge. Okay, we've already gone through that. Okay, then. A new quest. So what's upstairs? A rude... Oh, hold on, a chest. Paper! And a book. The Erotico. The Erotico are the highest defenders of the Ro principle of knowing. If every Ro's mind is a mountain, the Erotico live at its base and never depart. They seek only to improve the science and knowledge of the Rokaj. The Ro have a long history of study and scientific advancement. The intensity of their learning ebbs and flows. When the Rokaj is occupied by a foreign land, there is less learning. When they are free, study and research begins anew. After 2 centuries of being a vassal state of Haven, the Erotico are but a faded sect. Most of the new knowledge of the Ro enters through the ports of the Gentle Coast. Most of them are holed up in the Tower of the Erotico, in the heart of the Rokaj, where they tinker and dream of past glories. The Erotico free themselves as much as possible from the burdens of life and belief. They create and invent. Then they leave it to the other Ro to adapt their creations to the world and Ro beliefs. The mental and emotional detachment of the Erotico can seem very strange. Alright. And who is this Arud Ciaris? There's a young scholar standing at this table, poking at an old, crumbling text. He seems calm at first. Then you see the slight tremble of his hands. I am Arud Ciaris. I only need a moment. I'd like to know about the Erotico. My request granted. In time you will learn what you need to learn. What is that book? I'm not sure. It was here when I got here. What did you want to say? The Erotico needs to talk to an outsider. Things are... It is hard to say. I have a message. Very mysterious. I don't know much either. I just know... message. And the message is? Arud Falis, in the Tower of Erotico, the heart of our order. To know one's enemies is to know oneself. Very profound, I guess. No, that is what you are to say to him. To let him know I talked to you. Sorry, I'm very new at all this. Also, I don't want to be killed. Killed by whom? Best killers of the Ro. So exposed out here. So it's a passphrase. Yes. To know one's enemies is to know oneself. I saw you arrive. I know you are the one to choose. Say the phrase to Falis and he'll know too. If I get the chance, I'll talk to Falis. I thank you. It will be worth your time. Good for Haven, too. That is all I have to say. I'll be gone soon. Alive, I hope. Please go. He turns away from you and keeps poking at the book. Interesting. Alright, well, let's go out. I think we have just enough time to look at the other buildings. Let's see, this one is the Drunken Doggin. Every proper city in your empire has an inn. Haven soldiers, merchants, and officials constantly roam your vassals, and they need safe places to eat and sleep. Somewhere in the smoky hall, you're sure to find a bed you can use to rest. Okay, so we've got a couple names around here to look at. Okay, that's just the kitchen. Okay, let's speak with you first. Ajaya. There's a middle-aged woman sitting alone in the side room of the inn. She slowly eats stew and sips steaming, herbal-smelling liquid from a pewter mug. When you enter, she looks you up and down, coldly analyzing you. She motions for you to join her. I am Ajaya. I am from the High Litha. I would speak with you. It may profit us both. Tell me about the High Litha. It is the highest province in the Rokaj. We live in the icy, rocky peaks. You wait for more. You get a lot of silence in return. You note that her garb is thick and warm, but ragged and stained. You suspect that her tunic has been passed down from generation to generation. It's not a lot of detail. We are high and we see much. We keep the old ways of the Rokaj. When we start to go astray, the ghosts correct us. Sometimes we are asked to provide judgment. Judgment? What do you think of the Gentle Coast? She looks through the arch at the wealthy coast folk, sipping imported wine, comparing their stylish weapons and armor, and generally laughing and having a good time. We have not been asked to judge them, so we don't. Ghosts? Yes. Okay. What do you think of Haven? You are the reality. We must bend ourselves around you. Ajaya eats her stew and sips her liquid. You think it has some alcohol in it. Her eyes slowly unfocus as she drinks more of it. Not that it makes her any friendlier. I need to meet the Rasa of the High Litha. Then you should go to the High Litha. Why are you in Laskara?
I come to trade. The High Litha produces quicksilver. That which we don't use ourselves, we trade here.
How do you get quicksilver?
We dig the cinnabar out of the stone. The high mountains is where it is found. Then it is cooked to get the quicksilver. A little of the cooking takes place high up. Most happens in our claims in the Gentle Coast. The fuel we need is here.
What do you use the quicksilver for?
It can be made into potions. Drinking the potions can bring clarity, see the world in a new way, talk to the shades that guide us.
I could use some quicksilver.
Yes, Haven needs it. Much of the Roe's new wealth comes from the rocks. Rocks dug up by the humble folk of the High Litha. I can give you the quicksilver you need, if you help us. My clan has a claim in the Gentle Coast. There the quicksilver is brought from the rocks. The claim has ghosts. They keep us from working. Free our claim and you will be paid.
Where is this workshop?
Northeast of here, up against the wall of mountains. Cross one river.
The claim is ghosts. What should I do about them?
There are High Lithans there. They can tell you more.
Based on your experience with the Jaya, talking to them should be an absolute treat. Alright, well, while I would continue talking with everyone, this episode's gone on about as long as I have time for. So, I'm going to end the episode here. Next episode, we'll continue looking through the town of Laskara and see what we can do. Just a little bit more. I think we're roughly halfway through, so this should be good. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Falai. That is Prince Rupert, Elspeth, Terrence, and Patricia. This has been a Let's Play of Queen's Wish 2, The Tormentor, and I shall see you all next time.